And now looking at the internal anatomy of the human heart, firstly, if we remove the anterior wall of the right atrium, we can see the space in here that the deoxygenated blood is going to come into. We can see here, this little red stained dot here is the opening of the coronary sinus. Now the coronary sinus, if we just look at the back of the heart here, a posterior point of view, the coronary sinus is this vessel here, which is a vein on the back of the heart, drains blood from the myocardium into the right atrium. So you can see the coronary sinus coming through the wall and it opens into here. So it's a blood vessel that's opening into the right atrium, bringing deoxygenated blood from the heart into the right atrium. Now just above that, we have this area here, which is a depression in the wall of the right atrium. That's called the oval fossa. Now, of course, before birth, when you were a fetus, that would have been the oval foramen, a hole in the heart. But hopefully at birth this closes, but can still be seen as a fossa even in an adult heart. So that there, the oval fossa. Now then, on the internal wall of the atrium, we can see these ridges and grooves, and again we can see them on the part that we've removed on the inside here, and these are the pectinate muscles. So those ridges are the pectinate muscles. So that's the atria, those are the features we can see inside them. If we now remove the external walls of the ventricles, we can see the structures that are inside there. Now firstly, the valves that are in between the atria and the ventricles are going to be the tricuspid on the right and the bicuspid on the left. Now the tricuspid has three cusps, these three leaf-like bits that are actually the functional parts of the valve. The bicuspid or mitral valve on the left has only two. So there are two cusps there. Now attached to the cusps you can see these tendinous cords, which are commonly called heartstrings, and attached to the other end of them are the papillary muscles. And they actually are little muscles that extend to the internal aspect of the chamber. So that's within the ventricles. So we can see one here, labelled A, and one over this side, labelled C. So they're your papillary muscles. Now on the internal wall of the ventricles, we can see again there are muscular ridges, but this time they're called trabeculae carneae. So they're not called pectinate muscles as they are in the atria. So these are the trabeculae carneae. Don't confuse them with the papillary muscles though, which extend much further into the space inside the ventricle and are attached to the tendinous cords. Now then, for the blood to exit the right ventricle, it needs to go through this valve, which is the pulmonary valve. And you can see that that is going to lead to the pulmonary trunk. In the left ventricle, this valve here is the aortic valve, and the blood is going to exit the left ventricle through that valve and go into the aorta. In between the two ventricles, we have this wall here, which is the interventricular septum.